The energy of place is real, and astrocartography is a tool that can show us that. But not only do we have those main planetary lines that we see on our maps, but we also have other lines like local space, latitude crossings called parans, and even cyclocartography, which shows us the best time to venture somewhere, the best time to travel to your love line in order to meet that special person, and the themes that are happening in a given area at a specific moment in time. There's a lot more to astrocartography than just going to a Venus IC line. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you why that is. I'm currently traveling in Bali at the moment and thought I'd share a little bit of an update. Before we get into it, be sure to hit subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you're updated when I post new, knowledgeable, information-packed content on astrocartography. And also download my free astrocartography guide down below in the comments with the 5 mistakes that are commonly made when looking at astrocartography, and also 5 solutions on how to read your maps accurately. Let's get to the video. Hello from beautiful Ubud, Bali. I am here in Bali on my front porch, right in front of my hammock, and lots of plants and this beautiful rainforest of a place. And I wanted to share with you an update on astrocartography, my journey traveling, and also why it is so important that you look at Paran lines and you look at timing. Those two things. Paran lines or latitude crossings are a really key important thing when we're looking at the astrology of place and relocation. I'm here in Bali at the moment. I just left France, where I live in Biarritz, and I just came to Bali. And oh my gosh, I've only been here a week, but the energy is completely different because of my local space lines, my sun node local space line, a sun-moon Paran line, which is going through Bali at a latitude, but also my cyclocartography, which is the timing of place and energy and location. One of my favorite features on SolarFire, which is my go-to astrocartography software, SolarFire is really great because you can see pretty much everything: local space, Paran lines, geodetics, aspects, but also cyclocartography, which is looking at the timing of certain parts of the world on your map. And this is why SolarFire is really hands down the best astrocartography software. If you'd like to download SolarFire, I highly recommend it. You can use my 15% off discount code down below. My discount code is WOODS15, so you can save 15% off getting that software if you choose to download SolarFire. So as you can see here on SolarFire, I'm going to go up to the top left and I'm going to click chart. And I'm going to go down to subsidiary chart. And on subsidiary chart, I'm going to click CCG, which stands for cyclocartography, secondary progressions and transits. And I'm going to click that and I'm going to see what progressions and transits are going through a certain area of the world for me. So I can see how I have a moon descendant line, which is a very short 8-month period of time. And I have a Saturn ascendant. I can also go up to the top here and click chart, animate chart. And I can see timing wise these planetary lines moving. And the thing that really stands out is you can see that Saturn ascendant transit was going through where I was living in April. During those months when I had Saturn going right over my ascendant in Biarritz, I felt so serious, so much obligations and responsibilities and a need to be disciplined. And in some ways that was helpful, but I have to say, it was also quite depressing. I am definitely not someone that gets very depressed or sad. I have a very strong resilience monitor. I can bounce back from setbacks very easily. But I'm telling you, this Saturn ascendant transit going through where I was, oof, it was hard. And let me show you how much the energy changes just by getting on that plane and leaving France and coming all the way to Bali. So let's look at that. So let's go over here to Bali. So I'm going to click map and I'm going to go up to Asia. This is kind of how I like to use this software. Go up to Southeast Asia and I'm going to zoom in to Bali. When I came to Bali, you could see that Mercury ascendant is super close to Bali. And I could use my little measurement tool, which if you're doing astrocartography, you really need to be using the measurement tool and measuring out distances. It's very, very important. It's 118 miles away. That's a very close, intense strength of a progression. Mercury's progressing over my ascendant here in Bali at this moment. Mercury on the ascendant is quick, witty, sharp, fast, light. It's like a little hummingbird of energy when it's on the physical body, the identity, and the sense of self, and how one is seeing life. When we're looking at ascendant, we're really looking at the person and how are they seeing life. What is their approach to life, the filter as to which they view life, and also their body, their physical health and body. Mercury on the ascendant is so different from Saturn. Saturn is heavy, it's weighty. Mercury is light, quick, playful, busy. I'm telling you, the minute my plane landed here in Bali, my energy is completely shifted. I feel so different. And while I don't have any ACG lines close to Bali, I do have activations here, specifically that progression of Mercury in the ascendant going through Bali. Here's the thing that shifts though, the big thing. We talked about how I don't have any ACG lines close within orb. Does that mean there's nothing here for me? Absolutely not. This is where local space becomes very important, local space lines and Paran lines. And you can see here in Bali, I've got a Sun Moon Paran right in Bali. The Sun Moon Paran is leadership, being a leader. It's also focusing on your goals and aspirations, your self-expression. It's kind of an energy of new beginnings, of trying new ways of expressing yourself and the sense of leadership in your own life. One of the downside is egocentricity, or being too much focused on yourself. Too much ego is a Sun theme, but overall it's a really great Paran. Sun Moon Parans are one of the best Paran lines to look at for people. People feel very happy, comfortable, and confident on Sun Moon Parans. There's also just high self-esteem and just this ability to be confident. And I'm telling you, ever since I got here to Bali, I've just felt so much better. Also here on Solar Fire, I have the local space lines of the sun and the nodes, the moon's nodes, right? The nodes often symbolize karmic importance, fatedness, events, experiences that are often very important for the native. Nodes are also kind of like a volume up or an increase of importance, something significant. With the sun is ego, identity, goals, aspirations, vitality, and willpower, and your sense of your will. And just the leadership, right? Sun is so leadership. But the thing about local space is you really have to refer back to the natal chart. So what is your sun story? For instance, my sun's in Taurus, and it makes a strong 0-degree trine to Uranus, which is authenticity and originality and being different, unusual, or wanting to be different in some way, wanting to be original. And it's also conjunct Algol and opposite Pluto at 0 degrees. So there's definitely a theme of like wanting to be authentic in the sense of self, but feeling a pushback or feeling pressure in some ways by the Pluto, which is strength, rebirth, destroying something and rebuilding it back up, rebuilding the identity, rebuilding what the person wants in terms of their goals and aspirations. These are all themes that I have been thinking of since I got down to Bali. There's just been a massive shedding of, what do I really want? Like, what are my goals? What are my aspirations? What do I really want? And since coming here, I've looked at my values, which I've always had, 4 values written down in my journal to kind of bring me back to my core authentic self. And since coming here, I've done so much journaling, so much writing, self-expression, creative writing, getting back into creativity again, making videos that are creative for my heart again. But also, I've reviewed my values. I had this deep desire, this inspirational pull or calling to relook at my values and to change them. And now my values are different and they've shifted a bit, and now I'm going in a new direction with things. But not only that, I just feel so much lighter here. I have no ACG lines within orb of this area. In Bali, I have no ACG lines close to me or within orb. And yet I still have energy here. I still have important things happening here because of those local space lines and that Paran line. If you're not looking at Paran lines or local space lines, you are doing astrocartography wrong. So I hope this video inspires you or gives you some clarity around astrocartography and why it's really important to look at the timing, the cyclocartography of the areas in which you're in or planning to visit or travel to, but also make sure you're looking at those Paran lines and those local space lines. There are not enough astrocartographers here on the internet talking about specifically local space and Paran lines, and that's why I want to make sure you have this information and that you're actually looking at this accurately so you don't make any mistakes or you don't go to places that are actually more difficult than they are as seen on places like astro.com or whatever. So as I mentioned, if you'd like to check out SolarFire, which is my go-to astrocartography software, you can get my discount code down below, Woods15 at checkout, and you get 15% off downloading this amazing software. This is not sponsored, I just love SolarFire, and it was about time I got a code from them. I have sent them so many emails over the many months asking for a discount code so I can help you guys out. Finally, they got back to me, and now I have a code for you. So I hope this helps. As usual, if you want to get more information, check out my blog. I'll include some links down below, as well as if you want to book a reading or get my 7-week intense deep dive on locational astrology. I've got a full course with over 20 hours of content, examples, real life questions, examples that you can look at. I'll include all of those links down below. I hope this helps and brings you some clarity and information and knowledge on this amazing tool of the astrology of place and relocation. I'm sending you such a big hug. Hope you have a magical day, and I'll see you next time. Bye. It's so magical.